Good day, everyone, and welcome to SID 2021, the event that promises to bring in customer experience transformation to the service industry vertical. My name is Darshan, and I head marketing and communications for the NJ Group. Today, we have planned an exciting slew of keynotes, followed by a fireside chat session with experts in different fields. They bring a wealth of experience that will no doubt infuse exuberance in today's event. SID 2021 is presented to you by the NJ Group, an enterprise with over 2 decades of experience in the services and F&B vertical, with 5 entities and multiple brands under its helm. In fact, the NJ Group has been at the forefront of identifying issues that plague the service industry by keenly observing customers during this period. In due course of time, the NJ Group began a quest on trying to earnestly solve these issues. This quest resulted in the creation of NJ Intelligence in 2016. Today, NJ Intelligence stands on the cusp of blending insight, innovation, and technology to co-create solutions solving real-world challenges. We use AI, ML, and most importantly, human insight to craft solutions that bring enterprises closer to their customers. And this leads us to the theme of today's event: customer service and experience management. Excelling at customer service is the holy grail for most companies. Many seek it out, but few achieve it. And those who do so are the ones that achieve true competitive advantage. But how do they achieve this? Not by wishing, but by doing. And most importantly, listening. And at NJ Intelligence, we believe that this is key to excelling. But there can be an ocean of difference between hearing and listening. Truly putting your ear to the ground and hearing the swell of your customer's voice can open up insights that can transform your business, helping it achieve its vision. And when we use the word vision, it is a different perspective for each individual or enterprise. For one, it may be growing exponentially, while for another, it may be achieving service excellence. What all these have in common is that they're all targeted towards achieving their goals through excelling in customer service. For the first keynote session, I would like to invite Nilendra Jain. Nilendra is the founder and CEO of the NJ Group. Ignited by a deep-seated passion for innovation, Nilendra left behind his thriving corporate career to pursue his love for entrepreneurship. Today, he has marshaled the latest emerging technologies to usher in transformational change. Nilendra looks towards crafting a future where his enterprise will be at the forefront of bringing in disruptive solutions for the F&B industry. I would like to invite Nilendra to please take the stage for the first keynote address.
A very good afternoon, everyone. I would like to cordially welcome one and all to SID 2021. Today, I believe we stand on the cusp of delivering next generation solutions to the world, one that will bring us closer to our clientels. From a singular vision, through many ups and downs, pitfalls and learnings, the NJ Group has made its way to 5 chain restaurants with outlets across Singapore and many partners in just 7 years. Food and technology are our 2 arms. One vision for the future is one where technology fuses food and services together, which insights that deliver cutting-edge solutions. These would help us solve unique problems in an innovative and definitive manner. Our DNA lies in the fact that most technologies companies don't understand the deep needs of the service industry. While at the same time, the industry often finds it tough to precisely communicate their requirements. Our future vision and goals lies in not just creating medium of communication, but to create a whole ecosystems and framework that places technology in the hands of service providers as a tool for business transformation. After 2 decades of experience, blended with mistakes, which we refer to as our learnings, has ultimately led us to craft innovative business solutions along with a vibrant, lasting brand. Today, we define our growth as one of where business owners are able to use innovation as a catalyst for their business transformations. At NJ Intelligence, this is the significant gap in the market that we have gleaned and seek to fulfill. However, we face a larger challenges posed by the COVID pandemic. One where we need to reset our objectives, rejig our approaches, and utilize the bandwidth provided to lay the future for a better tomorrow, right? I will not take much of your time and would like to thank all those in attendance and exhort one and all to make the event a grand success today. Thank you.
Thanks, Nilendra. A significant takeaway from your note was placing technology in the hands of service providers, which I think has been something of a challenge to date. It is indeed heartening to hear that the NJ Group is placing significant importance on innovation through decades of learning, which is often the path towards crafting a future of new opportunities and disruptions. For the next keynote session, we have Roger Liu. With more than 20 years of experience in business intelligence and management consulting, Roger has a proven track record in areas that include market intelligence and brand research, feasibility studies, strategy consulting, family businesses, and performance management. He has widely traveled the world as a management consultant. I would like to invite Roger to please take the stage.
Thank you very much for inviting me as a keynote speaker for this platform today. The topic I'd like to speak to you about today is on customer centricity. Over the years, I have the privilege of working with some of the best companies in Singapore and in the region. And one thing I realized that whenever I ask them about what are your key strengths as part of your growth strategy, the answer has always been my service to my customer. But I think many of you should realize that by now. Services no longer give you that competitive edge. It's just a necessity to compete, but not necessarily will give you the edge over your competitor. You will realize that if you check around with all your competitors, if not, most of them will probably say that service is their key strength as well. So today I'd like to share with you in terms of customer centricity and how do we use that as a competitive edge for the market of tomorrow. Firstly, I'd like to share with you in terms of what customer centricity is not. I think customer centricity is not about focusing on average customer. I think we shouldn't be spending time copying and retaining average customer because such customer segment costs us money, effort, and to a certain extent prevent us from being able to provide the actual service that you want to give to your real customer. At the same time, customer centricity is not about underspending on high quality customer. I think many customer or many clients that I work with realize that they've been underspending on the good customer, at the same time spending a lot of time and effort on the low quality customer. So I think one of the key things that we should start today is basically start looking at the whole database of ours. List out the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 customer. The tier 1 customer are the one that you want to look at serving because those are the high quality customer. And the tier 3 customers are the one you want to refer them to your competitor because these are the ones that will suck out all the energy and time and effort for your competitor. So moving forward in terms of customer centricity, what should we be looking at? I think the very first thing we want to look at is how do we use our customer data to actually better understand and segment our customer base. Many of us talk about data analytic today. People talk about POS system, data analytic, data scientists to come in and help in terms of our business transformation. I think one of the very starting points that we need to look at is basically look at our own customer database. What are they? How many of them are there? And basically come up with a list of what we call a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 customer. The tier 1 customer is 80-20 rule. Your tier 1 customer probably are probably 20% of your overall database, but they probably will give you 80% of the customer revenue. Tier 2 are the one that basically need nurturing. Tier 2 customer are the one that basically you want to nurture them, spend time with them, and hopefully in time grow them into a tier 1 customer that will be able to contribute to your 80% of your revenue. Whereas on your tier 3, these are the ones that probably need a bit of rethinking in terms of, are they the customer we want to keep for tomorrow's market? So the very first thing we look at is basically using your customer database to look at. Second, I think we want to focus on product and service delivery for your best customer. You need to spend time sitting down with your best customer to understand at the end of the day what kind of product and service quality they're expecting. Many companies has told me over the years is that we provide good service, but what do you mean by good service? And in the eyes of a customer, what is a good service to them? I think you probably need to spend time to even understand when we talk about product and service quality to them, what does it mean to them, and basically can probably rethink in terms of your service delivery to them. Lastly, I think you probably also look at in terms of understanding customer lifetime value. There are customers that have stayed with you for many years. Okay, there are customers that are probably just emerging to beginning to work with you and understand. I think it's just like a product life cycle. You do need to understand a customer value, a lifetime value in terms of what it means to you as a company. So many clients that I work with, they are basically sophisticated in terms of customer engagement, has what we call a customer lifetime value proposition or cycle within their sales team. They look at customers in terms of where are they in their life cycle and how can they better fit in terms of product and service quality. So it's just a typical product life cycle. There is a growth, there's an introduction stage, a growth stage, a maturity stage, and there is also a decline stage. There are clients that are probably in their decline in terms of industry. These are the clients perhaps we want to slowly downgrade them from the tier 1 to the tier 2 and eventually to tier 3. We are just being pragmatic in the customer acquisition. The world of tomorrow will spare no effort in terms of getting rid of weaker player. I think what we need to look at is basically using customer and understanding customer as our key pillars for growth. With that, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the session.
Thanks, Roger. Those were some very discerning insights that you gleaned. Customer centricity is often the key to capturing the future. It has been an absolute delight to have you with us today. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, the Eagle demo. Joel Saldana, VP of the NJ Group, will be showcasing the Eagle software, which is the brainchild of NJ Intelligence and seeks to bring about a positive disruption in how business owners engage with their customers. Over to you, Joel.
Good afternoon, everyone. In the demo session today on our product Eagle, I'm going to brief you about the key highlights of this product, what are the features of this product, and whether this product can be useful and potentially impact your business, especially in the service industry. But before going into the demonstration, I would like to share a fact with you, which will definitely bring more meaning to this session. So we see that 86% consumers check their reviews before opting for a new service, whether it is a restaurant or a hotel or any service industry. This is the fact from the trusted resources. And if we believe this fact, then we can have a very clear statement that if you are into service industry, then customer feedback is the most important factor to drive your business. So this product is all about that. This product is all about capturing of customer feedback, real-time monitoring, real investigation, and action-oriented outcome out of it, which ultimately brings good level of impact and profitability to your business. So before we get into the demonstration of the actual software, let's see this video.
Did you know that 86% of consumers first check out reviews online before opting for a service? And 68% make a choice based on positive reviews? This puts the onus squarely on the positivity your digital presence exudes. However, the problems on the ground are quite different. Every business owner aspires to provide a top-notch experience while welcoming feedback to improve their service delivery. But the current systems of reviews and feedback are heavily dependent on digital platforms and social media, which can be inauthentic and inaccurate. Most businesses counter the feedback by overspending on marketing and promotion without plugging the core issues. Introducing Eagle, a refreshingly different approach, an AI-enabled issue identifier system. Eagle will make deceitful reviews and the fog of delayed insight a thing of the past. Utilizing a real-time learning system, Eagle accesses multiple data points of customer engagement and feedback data every day. The AI-supported digital dashboard collects and analyzes real-time customer data by taking a cognitive approach with people, predicting the required business arrangements in advance, and suggesting service recovery actions immediately. So, how does Eagle energize your business? Reduces repetitive complaints to build long-term loyalty. Reduces losses that accrue due to negative consumer reviews. Lets you refocus resources on effective marketing solutions. And the best part is that Eagle acquires all that in just 6 seconds. Expandable across all industry verticals for the service industry. Eagle can help transform your business, increase revenues, and ensure you stay firmly in control of your reputation. Get the power of Eagle today.
So this is the journey of the customer review system in last 2 decades. And we see that from the initial way of capturing the customer feedback on papers to the today scenario of social media and the Google reviews and the various social platforms to capture the customer reviews. You see there are challenges which are unavoidable and which are impacting the real businesses at a very high level. So authenticity. What is the authenticity of the reviews which are placed on the social media? What is the level of misuse you see on the social media platforms? And the incompleteness. So if, for example, if the customer has written about a restaurant that the food was not good, how does it create any action orientation to the business owner? The business owner doesn't know at what time that customer experienced that food, who was the chef that time, who was the service staff that time, what was the time of that meal. All these things are missing, which ultimately leads to a very ambiguous situation. So basically, we see that the business owners are putting 5-star efforts, but the results which they are getting is at the 3-star rating level. So the cycle which is shown here is like inauthenticate, inaccurate, and incomplete customer feedbacks are received across the various platforms. Then the management takes action on these ambiguous reviews, whether negative or positive. Ultimately, they try to do some new promotions and some branding methods they create, but the actual problem remains in place. The actual problem doesn't solve. So what is Eagle? Eagle is an AI-based issue identifier system. We don't claim that we solve any problem, but we claim that we ensure that you will be able to identify the root cause of the problem. So the moment the customer provides a feedback via the system, which hardly takes 6 seconds of the customer, we don't ask for any personal information of the customer like the mobile number or the email IDs, which clearly indicates that we don't have any other intent of capturing for the promotion purpose, but the intent is to actually get what is the experience of the customer while consuming my service in my business area. Okay. In this 6 seconds, as soon as the customer provides the feedback, our backend system is fully dynamic, which captures that feedback, shows as a real-time feedback in the live monitoring dashboard to the manager. And then from that, the journey of that feedback case starts in the backend. Until the time the root cause of that reason is not identified, whether good or bad, thus that case remains open in the system. And the business owner at any time can track who was the responsible service staff, who was the responsible manager, who was the chef at that time, and who is the major reason of escalation for that particular bad review. So ultimately, whenever any escalation happens, after that escalation, there is some improvement happening in your business because you know the root cause of that reason. Otherwise, the case still remains open. So this is the backbone of this Eagle concept, that it ensures that whatever feedback you are getting from the customer are reaching to the highest management or the decision makers of the business. And there is no loss of information. And on the basis of that feedback, you are actually generating some relevant action, which optimize your business every day. So Eagle is powered with artificial intelligence, secured AWS server, dynamic backend to control almost everything you think of as a system, from your branding point of view, from the monitoring point of view, from the dynamic question answers, from the theme and everything. And it has a fully integrated support system. So there's a dedicated team. Any issues on the system, the team will support you. So I think this is the time, everyone is talking about the modern technology. So this is the time to adopt these kind of latest solutions and try to bring some revolution in the existing operations. So here we see some of the important screens of the software. This is the login screen of the Eagle software. When we log in, we see two sections here, the admin dashboard and the customer feedback. The admin dashboard is for all the backend activities, including the restaurant configuration, monitoring, investigation of the feedback, reports, dashboard, etc. The customer feedback section is for the capturing of the feedback from the customer. So this is the screen when we enter into the customer feedback. This is the manager screen where the manager enters the basic details about the bill of that customer. And then the feedback screen, which is presented to the customer for the feedback collection. The customer simply clicks on these 2-3 questions, whatever is being configured in the backend, and simply submits the feedback. So that's it. That's how we claim that it hardly takes 5 to 6 seconds for the customer. We don't ask for any personal information. And this is a thanking screen, having a dynamic thanking message, which is quite interesting. It has a number of days of the restaurant, that is the age of the restaurant, how many customers have given a review, and how many people actually have consumed the service. Now going to the backend, as soon as the customer submits the feedback, this is a live monitoring screen which the manager sees on its desktop. So this is color-coded feedbacks. If it is a very good feedback, it's in green, and very bad is in red, and the normal feedback, neutral feedback is in brown. So this is how the manager can take the call immediately, since this is a real-time monitoring screen, whether the manager should go to the customer and talk to him based on the feedback received. This is the detailed investigation screen of the backend. This is very interesting because with this screen, all the data gets consolidated across different, from the different sources like the POS system, the customer given feedback, the manager comments, the investigator comments. So all those information for a particular feedback get consolidated in each case ID. So the business owner can anytime can look into any case and see why the status of that particular case is open, why it is not yet closed, and can also see what are the reasons and can analyze the root cause of the issues. For example, some repetitive issues are coming in. So those kind of analytics is very much possible from here. And in fact, this is the heart of the whole software, enabling this investigation part, which is not at all present in any of the other products. And this is the last but the most important screen of the software, which is AI-enabled prediction. So we have used the power of artificial intelligence here to predict a lot of important information, which is useful for the business owner. So some of the, I'm just reading out the titles here, and definitely we can go into the details on a one-to-one session as required. So basically, this system can predict the manpower requirement. So in some of the special days you see in the service industry, we feel that a lot of customers and we might need some part-timers and all. So that prediction is very much possible here. We can predict the raw material planning accordingly. So what kind of raw material should be well in place. We can forecast the expected number of sales, expected number of customers. And one interesting thing, we can provide the recommendations on the menu pricing. So to kind of boost up the revenue. So based on the historical data, what kind of prices should be increased or decreased for a particular menu can be recommended here. Then we can do employee performance analysis on service sector and on other parameters as well based on the historical data. We can do a promotion optimization. Again, this is very important because every business owner is doing a lot of promotions in this competitive market. But for example, if you have a limited budget in a month, then you cannot spend that voucher or promotion or social media campaigning every day. And there are few days in every month where that conversion is quite higher comparatively. So those days can be recommended here based on the prediction of the historical data, which can be used very effectively by the business owners. And then last is the scope of improvement. So this is like based on the different aspects of the data being collected. This can give you a higher level information on what sectors this particular business is lagging in, whether it is in terms of the taste or whether it is in terms of the service behavior of the staff or the infrastructure of the service place. So those kind of high level recommendations can be provided here. So this is something like a unique feature which really took a lot of time for the development of the same. And here we end this session for the demonstration. For more information, you can simply visit engineintelligence.sg, our website, and go to the products and Eagle. So this Eagle product page has a lot of information about this product. And also we have the demonstration offer going on. So you can request for a demo, which is totally free of cost, having all the features of the software. There is no limitations on that. Also, we have a full-fledged training program for the same software, which is totally free of cost. So with this, we are proud to announce the launch of this product Eagle. This is the innovation which is the outcome of our hard work of around 1.5 years, which included a lot of surveys with the customers and the business owners in the service industry. It included a lot of brainstorming with the best finds across various verticals. It included a lot of experts from the technology side and from the domain side. And also the founders of this group are having a very strong background in this domain of F&B as well as on the technology. So thank you all for giving us an opportunity to present this innovation to you. Thanks for your time. Hope you find this session useful for your business.
Thanks, Joel. That was a really insightful demo. Eagle seems to be feature-packed for enterprises looking to discern more about their customers. There's nothing like getting real-time insights into customer issues and resolving them quickly too. We eagerly look forward to seeing it in action soon. And to our audience today, I guess many of you would be having a wealth of experience in dealing with different types of customers and issues. So we'd like to conduct a short poll to learn a little more about your customer experiences. The poll will appear on your screen shortly. Please make your relevant choice as soon as you can. Poll question number 1 is, do you face any negative reviews or customer escalations in your business? Your options are never, sometimes, and frequently. So we just wait till the audience send in their poll. And I know sometimes negative reviews can be a downer. Not only affects business operations, morale, lots of things actually can get impacted. And perhaps a little insight into what's going wrong definitely throws up a lot of assistance for the company. So we just wait a few more seconds for the results. It should be coming in soon. We just wait a minute or so more. If the audience is going to take a little bit more time, then probably we can push the results to a little later. I guess many of them are still thinking. Okay, so I guess we've got to wait a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to poll question number 2, which would be, do customer reviews help in identifying the root cause? Your options are yes and no. And root cause issues probably are sometimes systemic. Many business owners often don't even realize that they're there. A lot of people think that, yes, things are going fine and, business operations are okay. But sometimes if you look a bit closer, there could be things that are hidden, things that crop up which you offhand are not able to figure out. So I guess sometimes getting to the root cause of issues really helps your business progress. So what we're going to do is that we're going to wait for the poll results. Probably when they come in, we will announce them. Let's move on to the fireside chat. We've got a wonderful set of esteemed panelists. They come from different verticals, bringing a wealth of experience and acumen with them. We're excited to have them with us and would like to welcome them to SID 2021. Okay. I just go to the first poll result. It's just coming. If you don't mind, I'll come back to you all. So never was 21%, sometimes 13%, and frequently 65%. So yes, this is an issue. Great. So we'll get back to the fireside chat. And our first guest is George Gekas, who's a mentor and business coach in the FMCG industry. He works with food and beverage entrepreneurs and companies who need support, direction, and problem solving to grow and scale their business. George is also the CEO of Badalia, a global food and beverage venture catalyst, which specializes in taking validated food concepts to global markets. Good afternoon, George.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to SID 21. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Thanks for taking time out. Thanks for being with us. And we'd love to hear you. So I'm going to get quickly into your first question. So, George, you've worked with F&B firms globally and at scale too, from what I understand. So my question to you today is, how is the service industry currently capturing customer engagement, and what are the pitfalls of these systems?
Well, there's quite a few different ways. I suppose if I go back to the very first basic ways, the way that I think most owners like to capture the customer engagement, and that's actually on the shop floor. So owners like to go out there. They like to see the reactions of their customers, like to see if they are enjoying their food, if they're enjoying the ambience, are they happy, are they smiling, are they getting a good vibe from the overall restaurant or whatever the business may be. Are they eating all their food? Are they coming back? Are they coming back with their friends? Are they coming back with a much greater party? And are you getting any complaints? So I think it's a very accurate way, and it's a great way because you are interacting with the consumer. I suppose the challenges with this is it's not easy to capture all this information. If you're a business that is growing a franchise model, how does the owner of the business cover all of this? So there is quite a few different challenges with that, but that's probably the most basic way and probably the most enjoyable, because all business owners, they're in this business because they've got a lot of passion. And when you see customers and when you're talking to customers and you're getting that face-to-face interaction, you do find out if they're enjoying themselves and if they've got some particular problems. And then you go on to probably the next phase, and it was mentioned in the great presentation that was just delivered. But you've got the mailing list. So if you've got a database and you know your customers come in, a form will go out and it will be filled out and you'll send it back. So it's quite an old school way, but there is some companies that are still using that. And there are some challenges with that. A lot of people won't fill out the form. The form may be filled out a few days later. Is it going to capture everything? Do they stop filling it out halfway through? So there is quite a few challenges with that. And the most common one, which is also mentioned in the presentation, is Facebook reviews or Google reviews. Now these are challenging, and I'm one that checks these reviews, and my wife checks these reviews. And we're always a little bit skeptical, but I suppose because we're from the industry. Unfortunately, the bad reviews come up quite quick, and bad reviews travel fast. Unfortunately, bad news travels a lot quicker than good news.
True.
So you don't know what the background is for that particular bad review, and you might get one bad review out of 50 reviews. So you don't know exactly what it may be. It may be the food was too cold or the food portions were too small. You don't know exactly what's important to that particular customer. Do they prefer the ambience? Do they prefer to be to have great service from the waiter? Do they prefer to be welcomed as soon as they come in, or do they just prefer to have very cheap meals? You don't know. So it's not a really accurate way to find out exactly what are the problems, or what is it about your particular restaurant or your service company that is really upsetting that consumer, and is it a problem for everyone else? So there's quite a few different challenges even with those types of reviews as well.
Thanks, George. And what I'm hearing from this is that, so there are two types currently. One is a sort of very direct, could be a paper form, verbal, that's one, very intimate, one-on-one. And the other is on your social media or online platforms, which is essentially out of your control. And there's an interesting perspective to the platforms, which we'll take up once we go maybe into the post-fireside chat, which was one of the main reasons that Eagle was actually developed. But thanks for these points, George. They were really wonderful. And we're going to make a little note of these because we will revisit some of these. And so I'm just going to move on to the next person now. I'd like to call upon Joanne Lai. Joanne, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you. And so Joanne has more than 14 years of experience in the financial vertical. She started young, very young, when she was in her early teens. Incidentally, Joanne specializes in comprehensive financial planning and has won many prestigious awards, including being consistently in the top 1% of financial advisors worldwide by the $1 Million Roundtable. So Joanne, what we'd like to understand from you today, and of course, I mean, you're in a consumer service industry, you meet people consistently. You talk to people consistently. It's very intimate. It's very one-on-one. So what I'd like to understand from you today is what role do you feel technology plays with regards to customer feedback and engagement?
Yep. So I would like to summarize this in an acronym called TECH, T-E-C-H. So basically, T stands for touch and tech. So high touch and high tech. I believe that the world has evolved over the years and how customers don't only value the high touch of customer engagement, there's also interaction between the server and the customer. But there is also high tech aspect where there's seamless engagement and instant responses through an app or online through a website. Then the second would be E, where engagement, most people when they visit a restaurant, they would have done the research beforehand. And because of that, right, the technology engagement already starts even before the customer steps into the restaurant or even has any interaction. So effectively, the website and the interaction beforehand has to be done well so that it will attract them to want to come further. And in the past, usually we need to order the food through a waiter or waitress, but now with a tablet, we can even order online. And of course, with a faster response. In terms of the C, which is the cost savings, one of the most common issues revolving around F&B industry is really talent acquisition and retention. And with the help of technology, it actually saves on manpower and also the cost for the business owners, and so that the customers can immediately provide feedback through the app, or if there's any problems, that will also be immediately taken note of. The H will stand for higher efficiency. So more recently, I think artificial intelligence has been used to analyze lots of huge amounts of data collected from different sources. And I had the privilege of working with Uber recently through an entrepreneurship course, that there are a lot of more people ordering online right now. And because of the pandemic, things have really accelerated. So we need to save time on like identifying this problems, and definitely will help us to know where to spend the next dollar in identifying the issue and to put the money in the right places.
Thanks. So there's very interesting perspectives on technology, Joanne.
Yeah.
You know, one is that, yes, artificial intelligence, you know, is coming in, but from what I understand is a lot of companies, a lot of enterprises have not yet embraced well. You know, there's a top level, there's a lot of people doing things, but the embrace is not happening. And probably I'm wondering whether it could be that, is it that sometimes F&B or certain service industries, they're very good with people, they're very good with interaction, but sometimes technology is relegated to accounts, POS, you know, and the only other part is replying to an online Google review. They don't have a lot of layers between them. But that was very interesting, Joanne. Thank you so much. And like I say, we will, you know, come back to, we'll revisit certain things once we speak to everyone. Thank you so much. I just go next now. Our next panelist is Deepa Swami. Deepa, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being with us. Okay.
Thank you, Darshan.
Yeah. So Deepa is an entrepreneur and she's a co-founder of a company called FlexiBees, which is a talent platform for part-time and remote work via vetted women professionals. Very interesting. And Deepa started out as a finance professional, and finally she moved on to be a management consultant. She's passionate about how flexibility can change the game for women professionals and help them realize their full potential to positively impact individuals, families, and society. So great, Deepa, once again, great to have you with us. And our question to you today would be, what role does diversity play when systems are increasingly becoming technology friendly and powered by artificial intelligence?
Thanks, Darshan. And first of all, best wishes to the NJ Intelligence and the Eagle team for this great initiative and organizing this roundtable conference. I would like to talk a little bit about the role of diversity in business and customer experience, and then move on to AI part. So as we all know, there is a well-established linkage between diversity and organizational performance itself. So as per McKinsey's 2018 report, companies in the top quartile for gender diversity had a 21% more probability to have above average profits. So it is not just good for the society, it's good for business as well. Coming to how it can impact customer experience, the more diverse your employees, the better is their empathy levels, their communication levels, and understanding of a range of customers. So obviously that is good for business and even for entering new market segments. We also actually see this getting reflected at our work at FlexiBees. So we basically help companies find curated talent on part-time basis via women professionals.
Nice,
So
yes.
Joanne was also mentioning about cost being an important element, and part-time can save business owners a lot of cost. So our biggest demand actually comes from sales and related functions. So like inside sales, meeting setup, customer service. So many of our customers come to us for the experience of the talent, but also for the benefits of diversity. So it's a clearly established linkage. Now moving on to the role in AI. So one of the things that is important in developing AI is inclusion of diverse thought, right? So this can happen by including heterogeneous and diverse team members to remove the biases which can creep in algorithm design, data analysis. And it's very, very important to use data that is more heterogeneous and inclusive of a wide range of people and which caters to different types of populations. So there are some famous examples of the impact that bias can have in artificial intelligence. Say, for example, how Amazon had to stop using its AI-based recruiting tool because the tool started penalizing women professionals from getting hired in tech industries. Why? Merely because the historical data had penalized women. There were simply more men, and so the machine learned that actually words which associated with women are not preferable. So it kinds of so another example is in facial recognition algorithms, where including only a certain type of population, it will not result in optimum outcome, right? We need to include heterogeneous data sets which can represent reality better. So we need to be aware of the context in which biases can get corrected by AI and biases can get enhanced by AI. And I'm sure this is getting taken care of in Eagle platform. And F&B inherently lends itself to usage of more heterogeneous data, right? Because everyone loves food and everyone likes to experiment with food. So it is possible that I see a bright future for AI taking off in F&B as you guys are building it now.
Thanks, Deepa. And just to let you know why it's very popular in F&B is because people respect the food, not who made it. It's not male, female, whoever made it. We love the food, period. Deepa, thanks so much. Thanks so much. That was lovely, wonderful points. And I'm going to finally move on to Gigi Ang. Gigi, thanks for being with us today. Pleasure to have you. Can you hear me, Gigi?
Right.
Hello?
Thank you, Darshan.
Yes, yes.
Right, I think, yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. So I'll just give you a short intro and then we'll go on to a question. So Gigi hails from a family of entrepreneurs and philanthropists. Gigi believes in the law of attraction and has proven that hard work, passion, and creativity helps you achieve your potential. Gigi travels the globe, incidentally, visiting tea regions in search of unique and authentic tea experiences. So, Gigi, you've traveled the world extensively, which brings to the table a very multifaceted perspective. We really appreciate that. Okay. And my question to you today is, the customer is queen. If we truly believe that, why have we really not adopted technology to advance this?
Right. Thanks, Darshan. I think first of all, just congratulate SID 2021 on this, and for Nilendra for extending this invite for me to be part of this sessions. Well, I guess the coronavirus pandemic changed life as we all knew it, forcing major behavioral shift and also accelerations in the consumer trends. Well, we Try House is a company with 4 brands under one umbrella. And we also OEM brands of many around the world, bringing the world of tea under one roof, just like what Darshan, you have just introduced me earlier.
Nice.
Our mission in this is to build intimate, direct relationship with billions of people and to bring them and to bring our brands to life through those interactions with these people and through technologies as well. And when billions of people, lives change drastically. So it is our job and to figure out and what are the best way to show up. So to respond to your question, Darshans, I think we all are aware that one size does not fit all during the best of time, let alone during a pandemic that impact every market differently. And today we operate in a very crowded, competitive market where most companies are vying for a similar audience. So I think Joanne would probably respond a lot more to this. And we are all aware today the verified benefits of AI, where we are improving user satisfactions, where Joel was presenting that earlier on Eagle. How can we do more customer acquisition, brand growth, not just on customer retention,
True.
but also on customer acquisition. So and as a result, and why there are still many people struggle to adopt technologies until today. Joanne mentioned earlier, there's a lack of talent in F&B. This is a non-fact. I think with AI, there's even a lot more lack of talent because it's very hard to acquire and retain experienced and knowledgeable AI specialists and even data scientists. In Singapore, we have about 20 AI engineers, and that's all we have.
That's it, just 20.
Yes. And what
Deepa, sorry to interrupt you. Deepa can help you out with that.
Yeah, okay. Good to learn. Yeah. And what are the other struggles? Why are we not doing that? So I think most companies today don't have access to quality and centralized data that embedded the AI apps that we can use and learn from. And even most organizations today, let alone just F&B and beyond, that we don't know how to do it. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to even start AI initiative effectively. So I believe, with AI, we all know about the benefits and it can definitely take our customer experience to the next level. So how can we then stir and educate the market properly? I think today we learned about Eagle. So what are the appropriate methods that we can use to enhance and personalize customer experience today? With us managing so many brands, and we are building the World of Tea platform under one roof, and how do we extend all of this? So there is need to know, not just knowing why are people not adopting this, but we also need to be able to be introduced. Apart from knowing, definitely in my company, I don't have AI specialists sitting in the office. So what then are we rely on? I think these are very key to respond to your question, Darshan.
Wonderful. I mean, we had such beautiful responses today, right? From George talking about different types of engagement. Deepa mentioned about diversity. Joanne spoke about Uber, and Gigi actually took it to this level with AI. Relating to your key concept, it's amazing. And we can really summate this a little. I've got a common question which all of you are going to take. I'm going to address it to, we had different questions till now. So probably once we do that, we can have a little summary session of all this and maybe a little chat on that. Okay, wonderful. So this would be it. The most successful companies in the world, take your Apple, Google's, BMW's, for example. All of them have one thing in common. They place customer centricity at the heart of their business. If you look at them, that's the way they've come up. It's not just about whether it's going to be the logos, the colors, all that sort of thing. They first started off from a place of being very empathic with the customer. How can we reach out to you? How can we make life better for you? So my question is that, how are we approaching this in the service industry? Would you like to take this first, George?
Sure. I think they're great examples of companies, and there's probably, as well as thinking about the customer, there's two things that I think about when I look at those companies, and one of them is they do focus on their employees as well, and it's even something that Richard Branson used to talk about. If you
Yes.
take care of your employees, your employees are going to take care of your customers. So
Very
I think
true.
that's something that we're moving towards in the service industry, and it's quite challenging because anyone that's worked in the service industry, especially food and beverage, it's a tough industry, and most of the time you're stressed and you're overworked. So when you see those employees that are very cool and calm and relaxed while they're serving so many people or working with so many people, they're worth their weight in gold. The other thing that I think is really interesting about those particular industries is they anticipated what the customer needed.
Yes.
So if you go back, even BMW, go back to Henry Ford. So Henry Ford's got a great saying that if I asked my customers what do they want, they would have said they want faster horses, but they just wanted to move faster.
Yes.
So then the car was developed. If you look at Apple and you go back to the iPod, which was an invention from the Sony Walkman.
Yes.
Now the Sony Walkman, that did not research well. That was coming out in the 80s, where everyone had ghetto blasters and big stereos on their shoulders.
Yeah. Yes.
It didn't research well. When they said, "Do you want a small device?" It didn't research it, but they took the risk because they realized that customers just want loud music in their mind, and they want to get away from it all.
A personalized environment.
Yeah, that's right. So Sony did take a risk on that, and they developed the walk, and obviously it was a great success. And then the iPod followed, and we moved on from there. So I think as an industry, we need to get to that point. We need to start anticipating what does the customer really need, what are their pain points. And the way that we're going to get there is understand the consumer a hell of a lot more. And the service industry is trying to do that. We really are trying to, we've got all these different ways of gathering information and gathering data. And, what you present is perfect. We're trying to gather, and we're trying to understand the consumer a lot more. So once we understand the consumer a lot more, we will be able to anticipate exactly what their needs are going to be. So that's what the service industry is doing. We're just trying to understand the consumer a hell of a lot more.
Wonderful, George. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So, Joanne, would you like to take the question next?
Yep. Adding on to George's response, I think what he has already described is really something that clients, knowing what clients want. And in addition to that, also, I think Apple and Google, the reason why they are so successful, they understand this value of a tribe. And I read a book called Subscribed. And in this book, it actually talks about this thing called the subscription-based model or premium model, where there is maybe a small monthly fee that they use to attract people to use their products. And usually the price point would be something that is very appropriate and not exorbitant, such that it's probably in the range of $20, $30 a month, sometimes in less than $100 per month, that people wouldn't mind paying for subscriptions. And the reason why I brought this up was because in recent years, we have seen this particular thing in the service industry called the food tech. And in food tech, basically, is a combination where the younger generations of millennials, they want food to be delivered to their houses. They don't really want to get down to buy their own food. And obviously, these brands are actually, like Uber Eats, right? They don't even want to go downstairs. Like some of my clients told me, their kids are so lazy or of sorts, not to want to even go down to buy their own food, right? So in that sense, right, understanding what kind of clients want this kind of a service, and obviously how do we get meal kits prepared. And recent years I've seen some influencers using pre-prepared meals and all those kind of things, right? So
we've seen that too.
Yes. So I think that capturing this particular market, whether it's the right segment for the business, it is to be determined by the business themselves and the business owners themselves. But the interesting thing is what the successful F&B business, for example, recent years there's this company called Hai Di Lao, which is done very well, even including focusing the customer first attitude, complimentary services like a manicure, shoe shining, or even some other things that they do that is centered around the the clients, and they also do daily, weekly, and monthly monitoring of the restaurant's performance, and they constantly reflect on what is the current state, so they know what is the gap that needs to be filled. And therefore, I think that having a systematic way of tracking the performance will help to build the customer's loyalty, and also make it convenient for the customers to want to keep coming back and keep using this business. And I think, as UBS said, this industry will grow even more because of the number of people using it. Yeah.
Thanks, Joanne. Thank you so much. Yep. And just to let everyone know, we've logged in more than 100 unique users. They're online and watching. So the insights you are sharing will be very valuable for all these businesses or people who have joined us. Thank you so much. And we've got the second poll. I've just got the answers in. It's yes, 70%, and no, 30%. So yes, root cause analysis does matter to a lot of businesses, which brings us to a lot to what Eagle's trying to do. So we'll just continue. Deepa, would you like to take the question next? Would you like to continue, please?
So, customer-centric business strategy is actually based on putting the customer first and at the core of business, right? In order to provide positive experience and also to build long-term relationships, because it's beyond a sale, it's beyond a transaction, basically. So some of the ways in which I know that B2B companies, including mine, FlexiBees, we are also primarily a B2B company. We like to focus on customer centricity is by focusing on retaining customers more. So like focusing on the relationship before, during, as well as after the sale. In fact, such a connection and feedback loop is crucial for the survival of our business, because actually we get about 67% of our business from repeat clients. Yes. And one can also look at metrics like lifetime value and customer lifetime duration, etc. In fact, Roger spoke about it in the same conference a while back. We actually have customers whom we have nurtured. So those tier one kind of customers whom we have nurtured over several years. And we have built a symbiotic relationship with them over the years. So they also need us as much as we need them, right? So this customer centricity needs to be consciously inculcated, we believe, in our teams. And not only just in customer focused teams or customer facing teams, but actually amongst all team members. Say, for example, even our delivery teams, finance and operation teams who may not have a direct interaction with the customer, they have different KPIs for their performance, but all have an implied customer focus, right? So the customer is truly king or queen. So it is important to recruit for and train for this particular attitude and value of customer centricity in service businesses, especially.
Nice. Wonderful, wonderful, Deepa. I mean, these are such wonderful insights we're getting. Multiple perspectives, and they approach a problem from different angles. So thanks, Deepa. So I will just throw the question to Gigi. Would you like to take this on?
Sure, thanks, Darshan. I really like what George presented earlier, and I think just in addition to what he presented, I think how can we approach this in the service industry? I think first of all we need to really embrace a test and learn mindset to unlock innovation, to unlock technologies. Without that mindset unlock, it's very hard for any company or even any individual or even any employee in a company to want to do anything else. So innovations for us is the core of everything we do at TriHight House, whether it's product development, whether it's marketing strategy. Prioritizing a robust test and run mindset and agenda has always given us a very clear goal, budgets, measurement that empower us to look forward and think bigger by making our creative more effective and also our media spend more efficient. So with that mindset, So I was actually just having lunch with Google Global Team, a person. So she said in Google Global Team, they have about 60 staff serving only 20 big accounts who spend millions and billions of dollars on them. So So for us, SME, for companies who do not have millions and billions of dollars to spend, so what do we do? What are the help available? So with that mindset in mind, and how can you dissect that? I think we all need to know that there are help on the way. So if you're in Singapore, who are listening to this right now, the audience, you can access to Enterprise Singapore. There's a lot of grants. There's a lot of ready scheme that you can embrace. And if you're SME, you can turn to your nearby SME centers. So basically, they do have a budget, and the government in Singapore really believe in technology, really want to invest in data and also innovation. So you just need to make time to do that. And if you're not sure how, I think you need someone to do it. Definitely, you can turn to a consultant. I think we all first need to know help is there, but whether we would have the courage enough to ask for help, I think that is the beginning of everything. So that's my take, Passion. Hope it helps the flow. Yeah.
Wonderful, Gigi. Thank you so much. And just to qualify your query, we've got more than 80 unique users logged in from Singapore, just Singapore.
Wonderful.
So your message has rung out loud and clear, you know.
Yes.
Wonderful. I mean, thanks everyone. It's been so wonderful, you know, a lot of insights. May I slightly just summate it a bit, you know. Perhaps if you look back, you know, since George spoke about Henry Ford, so we can go back many decades, you know, I think customer experience management decades ago was a paper form and one-on-one interaction. Did you like the service? How was it? Whatever, or maybe verbally asking them questions. When the internet and the World Wide Web started proliferating, and we've got the Google, the TripAdvisors. So I would say that is customer experience management 2.0, where there's a little more dialogue which can be elicited from the conversation. The only little fear with such platforms, and I don't know if George may agree with this, is that sometimes they encourage rage. If a customer has had a bad experience, yes, I'm going to get these guys, go and put a stinker online, you know. But perhaps if there were deeper issues, if the problem could have been approached from a different angle, it would not only benefit the business, it would benefit the customer. Because then what businesses do is they go and start blowing a lot of money on social media campaigns and coupons. I'm so sorry, please come for a free lunch. But actually, yes, maybe if you were serving a chicken leg that didn't taste well, it could, and somebody said, and people said it for 3 times, it could be you have a supply chain issue. You know, so there are a lot of deeper root cause issues which probably needed to be addressed. And that's what at the NJ Group, at NJ Intelligence, we've been trying to do actually with Eagle. You know, take things a little more deeper. Don't just remain, like I say, with due respect, with platforms that have come up, they are fine. But from our perspective, it's still not very dialogue-y in nature. It's, you know, more, you put it here, I reply, another reply. How far is that going to take you? You know, so yes, and I think we've come to the end of our fireside chat. Everyone, it's been a pleasure to have all of you all. Such wonderful insights, pointers, and I think for the audience that are listening, there's a wealth to take away. Whether it's going to be understanding how to engage with customers, whether it's going to be about adopting technology, whether it's going to be bringing about any changes in the way they're going to engage with software and systems. I hope people really take away from this. Thanks, everyone. It's been a pleasure to have you all here. And we hope, yes, we're planning a lot of this in future. We hope to see you all sometime in the future, you know, with us too again. And no doubt, we will, of course, be taking these insights to a lot of people on the internet and in our customer base. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day. Pleasure for having all with us. And so we would now like to go to the third keynote session, which is by Jeremy Fu. Jeremy is the founder and CEO of Elliott & Co., one of Singapore's fastest growing public relations agencies. Jeremy has been in the PR industry for more than 10 years and brings passion and drive to his profession. Today, Jeremy leads the charge to allow brands of all sizes to attain their own cover story. Jeremy, I request you to please take the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Fu. I'm the CEO and founder of Elliot & Co. and I'm very humbled to be part of this event and to be a partner at this event. So, I mean, there are going to be a lot of experts today speaking on customer experience. I'm not there to say that I know a lot, compared to these great people. But of course, I'm also in the service industry, so I can totally understand the need to have great customer experiences. And I think a lot about customer experience comes from the sensory experience, right? When you step into the cafe, what you see at the restaurant, what you see, what you touch, who you talk to, the food that you eat, it's all very sort of reactive to what happens around them. What I want to introduce or talk about, is something I do every day as a PR agency, a communications agency, is the part about perception and education. And that is what I would consider proactive before they even step into that place, into that experience that you want to give to them. I want to talk about this from also a psychological perspective, because humans, when they come into a new environment, a lot of them, humans generally, I wouldn't say everyone, depending on your personality, but a lot of people don't like new experiences. Why? Because it brings a sense of trepidation, it brings the unknown, it brings instability, and because of that, even if they have already put themselves out in that place, when they come in, there's always a lot of like watching and seeing, right? But what we can do to already preset their minds to prepare to come into a great experience and prime them to want to have a great experience is if we can educate them or give a perception that they are going to come into a great experience. And so what I'm focusing on today, to give some perspective on, is what they feel they already know about you before they step into the cafe, the restaurant, that service, and what they should expect in terms of service standard and customer experience. So in psychology, we call this the halo effect, right? There's this thing in psychology that good-looking people always get better chances in life, because that when we look at them, you already have the halo effect around their head. It's this sort of like the first 5 second rules, like your first impressions always count. And so if you wait for your first impression to be at the door, there's always a danger that you need a lot of different things to fall in place at the same time to ensure everything goes smoothly. However, imagine if they read something about you in the news, and news is generally across any country regarded as credible, right? If they read about you, they look at, and there's really good reviews, someone's really spoken about you and said good things, and someone they trust, and in this sense, the media, before they even step into that place, the F&B outlet, they already feel that sense of calm because they perceive you to be good because someone else has said that you're good. So rather wait to the end of their experience and hope that everything falls into place. Of course, we want that to always happen, that where everything from your service staff to the food to the sensory experience, the ambience, everything falls in place. But there are always going to be moments where that sometimes does not always go according to plan. So that is where the importance of priming, and the word I use is priming, and or educating them before they come in, creates a halo effect for you. And that's a powerful part of customer experience. It doesn't need to always be reactive, it can be proactive. So priming the customer is already it sets you up for success, because the power of proactive outreach, by letting them know about you before they see you live, is such a powerful thing. I think we see that in so many situations. As a PR guy now for more than a decade, I've seen the power of that in so many industries, but particularly in the F&B industry, because this is something that I see so many people now understand the power of. It's almost like if you don't do proactive outreach to get your word out before, to your audience through KOLs, key opinion leaders, influencers. I'm not saying that's just the only channels, even through mainstream media. It's almost like going to battle, cutting, sort of having one hand behind your back. I mean, everyone else knows already the power of this, because it's all about perception, it's all about priming. And if you don't do that, it's not that you cannot still get great feedback from the market, it's just that you have a tougher time. So, I mean, I've worked with different brands across my time in Elliot & Co., from as big as the Bread Top Group, down to first-time cafe owners like Maison Marie, Takeshi, Happy Ending Pizza Parlor, something you've never heard of. But what I know, working with, I would say, almost all my clients in the F&B space, service industry, is that when there was media around them, before people came into the restaurant, the cafe, it almost all the time means that there's already a positive perception, and people are willing to give it a second chance, because trust, according to reports, say that when people trust you, they're willing to give you a second chance. So when people trust you, they're willing to pay more. people trust you, they're willing to try new products. And so that is the power of perception. So when they come in, if they already feel like I can trust this company, I can trust this brand, they will not come in with their senses too heightened in fear that things will not go well. They'll come in relaxed, feeling that, okay, this is going to be a great experience because other people before me, particularly trustable sources like the media, have already done that for me. And so that is the power of public relations, or the power of perception in this broader sense, using tools such as public relations, media outreach. Of course, when you have like already 1,000 Google reviews, that's also a great channel, customer reviews from different places, word of mouth, there's all these different channels. I think all these others of Google reviews, word of mouth, different types of ads that you may run are things that you already may be familiar with, but you have not yet started using media relations to get the traditional media to talk about you and to already say good things for you. You're missing out on a very big part of what a lot of great F&B, service industry brands are already doing. Because I have worked with now I think more than 100 brands in the F&B space across the past 5 years who have used this to great effect for their brand, and seeing like not just soft ROI around hard ROI, where they get better sales. A lot of them will tell me that, but even beyond that, a lot of them, they say when they come in, they tend to feel, everything seems to be more relaxed. People feel happier because they already trust that they're coming into a great environment, rather than coming in with their senses heightened, thinking that things may not necessarily go well because they don't know what they're coming into. So the power of perception in customer experience cannot be understated, cannot be underestimated. Is something that I would encourage all, any entrepreneur here who is in the F&B space or in the service industry, if you have not yet tried using this method of using proactive public relations, media outreach, that is something that you should definitely consider. Not so much because I'm in this industry, but I will have seen so many of the people I work with. And again, you won't be surprised to hear any other entrepreneurs around you in the F&B space say that they have used media relations as a big tool, because there is power in perception, and perception can change people's minds even before they step into the place. So I hope this is very useful. I know it's a very short explanation and sharing. I hope this is insightful for you and gives you some sort of 101 on how to get this going. But I'm sure that besides what I'm saying today, all the other tools that will be shared along the way will further accentuate what we want to do in terms of bringing great customer experience to the digital customer today. So I look forward to also hearing from the other speakers who are here today, and thank you so much for being part of this event.
Hey, thanks, Jeremy. Those were some really detailed pointers about PR and the power of perception in customer experience. And I guess we probably need to inculcate them a little more in the F&B industry. I would really like to thank our keynote speakers, Mr. Nirendra, Roger, and Jeremy, our panelists, the fireside chat panelists, George, Gigi, Joanne, and Deepa. I think there was a wealth of knowledge that we learned that came from them. And there's a lot to absorb and probably take away from this today. We finally come to the end of SID 2021. We learned so much about how enterprises can get closer to their customers while excelling in experience management. And I think what is crucial is that some of the key points they made resonate with the vision of Eagle and engaging with one's customers. Considering the fact that ensuring a pristine customer experience is the key for any successful service industry, I think that it's the time has come now to really embrace modern technologies like artificial intelligence and many others to bring about a positive disruption from conventional modes of operations. And Eagle is one such innovation. And we feel it's all set to disrupt the customer experience game. And NJ Intelligence is on course to take it to enterprises far and wide. And if you're a business owner, enterprise business owner, you can stop spending monies on expensive social media campaigns and instead adopt Eagle to elevate your customer experience game. We strongly recommend that you give it a try for your business. Please enroll for a free demo. It's got a lot of unlimited features, which means that you can use it for free for the time being. And it's also got a very extensive free training program. And for all those who attended, I would like to thank you, all the audience. And you're going to be shortly getting, we'll be emailing you a $22 voucher, which you can redeem at Cali Rochester and Cali Raffles Place. You can also catch a live demo of the Eagle software over there while enjoying a meal. And last but not least, we will be launching SID 21 Part 2 sometime during October and November this year. And we will be launching a few more exciting products. Innovation is the name of the game at NJ Intelligence. And one of them is Scooter. So Scooter is actually a dynamic platform that revolutionizes how people are going to access food. It's built on 3 pillars: Resto Chef, where customers can order food from multiple restaurants in a single order and at 0 delivery fees. Yes, you heard that right. Home Chef, which is a portal to gain access to authentic home-cooked delicacies. And Road Chef, which brings you piping hot and fresh food from a roaming kitchen on a truck, which means that you order it now and you're just going to get it a few minutes later. All these are currently in pilot mode, and we will be having a full-fledged launch during SID Part 2, and we will keep you updated about those developments. For any queries, details, alignments, please reach out to us at +65 668 498 97. Email us at connect@njintelligence.sg or visit us at njintelligence.sg. Once again, thanks everyone, our speakers, panelists, and wonderful audience. Have a great day. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you in the future.